for some reason, I thought you said Outcast came out and started beating on Britt Baker. I'm like, oh my God. AEW is wild. I don't appreciate the fact that you have the blue belt on the red show and the red belt on the blue show.
Basement Bookers Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Basement Bookers Podcast. Welcome, returning and new subscriber to this channel where we talk about pro wrestling. My name is Basement Chair, and please, let's keep all the violence in the wrestling ring.
Message.
I'm begging you. With me, as always, Rich the Riz, the reigning, defending champion of the basement, at least still not a champion, where there's a possibility he won't be, because technically there's a chance that I could win. And I'm going to keep believing in that. And everybody should believe. You know, death, taxes, Seth Rollins winning the World Heavyweight Championship, you know, those are all guarantees. But this is not that. Right, Rich?
Correct.
Let's get down to this week in pro wrestling. I figure we bring it back to the old school, which is BSing and talking about wrestling. No real plan, you know, just classic basement bookers, but you can actually see our stupid faces when the things come out of our mouths.
Mhm.
So
I finally caught up to today's AEW.
oh, thank God.
I'm all caught
Because
up.
then you could take me through it, because it's been a while for me. And like, I don't want to, I'm going to be careful with this, because I think it's to be positive, considering the first segment of the show is technically an AEW segment. So that's been a long time. So I'm not going to bury the lead, but some things are forgettable, you know? So it's difficult for me. Like, the stories just don't resonate. So, Rich, what do you make? Where were you going with this smooth segue I butchered?
So, as we know, Adam Cole made his return from concussion injury, and that's what the whole part of what All Access is all about. So, after Adam Cole came back, they did this angle where they handcuffed. So, Adam Cole's feuding with Chris Jericho. So, of course, JS and everything. They beat Adam Cole down. They handcuff him to the rope, right? Britt runs out. She's like, oh, no, stop. And then,
That's a good imitation. That was
Yeah.
like, wow.
thank you.
Careful, we might get copyright struck. They might think we used her voice.
I know. I worked hard on that one. So the Outcasts run out, and with Adam Cole handcuffed, they beat down Britt Baker, which
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. Like, for some reason, when you said the Outcast came out and started beating on Britt Baker, for some reason, I thought you said Outcast came out and started beating on Britt Baker. I'm like, oh my God. AEW is wild.
Yo, if it was
Andre
Outcast,
3000 out there like that? Oh my God. Big boy, why?
they had the closest thing they had was
do
Rick Ross
this.
for a little bit.
I'm sorry. That would be the best. There's an alternate universe where that happens.
And I was just like, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
They ain't not dropping bombs over Baghdad right now.
Oh man. All right. So the Outcasts come out, beat down Britt Baker, and that was the source of the black eye, which prompted the shirt and all the memes and all the hoopla
That shirt,
online.
dude. Like, I didn't understand what the big deal was until I saw the shirt. It's like big image of battered woman, AEW, like a little, okay. Like, imagine wearing that to a bar, running into like the wrong person. It's like, hey, you like ladies with black eyes on your t-shirt? You know how many wrestling fans probably got beat up because of that? Man, guys, you should report that, you know?
So I get
violence isn't cool unless it's in the wrestling ring.
Right. But in this case, that's where it was, but they don't know that. Like, if you're not a wrestling fan, if you're not an AEW fan, if you've never heard of Britt Baker, which
it's not that popular, dude.
Right.
So, like, I like it, but
it's like, why are you wearing a shirt with a random woman with a black eye on it?
It's a little weird. with Becky Lynch, you know who Becky Lynch is, and you know it's a WWE shirt.
Yeah.
So it's a little
Thing,
different, but
the thing is, here's the difference. WWE wouldn't do that because in case that happens to be the first exposure for someone to any type of WWE product, that could be a bad experience for that person.
yeah. I
AEW
can't
is just like,
believe.
all right. I mean, I get why AEW made it a shirt because Britt Baker's marketable and it's to show she's tough. Like, oh, the women are just as tough as the men. All right, cool,
Yep. I
great.
mean,
A
it's
shirt?
so weird that in 2023 people still don't know that. No, we do. Okay. Okay, we do. Let's not shorten careers just to prove a point. All right.
Well, so wait, actually, let me rewind.
Oh,
Didn't when Becky's nose got broken, didn't they make that into a shirt?
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
But like Becky is a known.
right.
She's famous. She was more famous. Like even if she wasn't at the height of her popularity,
hmm
she was still more popular than Britt Baker, even right
That
now.
like when Becky broke her nose, it's like okay, let's start getting the measurements for the rocket strap that we're putting on you because that was it. That was the That was it. That was the moment.
Yeah, Outcast wouldn't beat up Becky Lynch. Like they would be okay with her. Best thing about wrestling is that unlike every other facet of life, be it politics, work, school, out there interacting in the world, the people that you interact with, the big difference is that wrestling, it lets you know that it's all a work.
Hmm.
It's all a work and it's all pretend. It's the most honest, it's the most honest art form there is. And by golly, I refuse to believe otherwise because at least they let you in. They let you in on it.
hmm
That it's all BS. Everything else thinks it's real, but it's not. It's not real because it's lies. There's all lies.
hmm
Rich Perez. Wrestling is the truth.
That's right.
Wrestling's the truth. And we as wrestling fans, we need to unite all tribes.
Message.
Hey, I fixed tribalism
There you go.
in wrestling.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as good as Cody because Cody did solve racism.
He did.
I am not. There's levels to this.
Speaking of BS, and AEW,
That's what we're
obviously
doing here too, right now.
we are. We absolutely are. CM Punk Collision. There's this rumor that
Oh, there's a
the
collision, all right.
the sticking point of announcing CM Punk, or even whether or not he'll be involved, is dependent on Ace Steel's involvement. He wants Ace Steel involved.
Look, Ace Steel is CM Punk's. Listen, breaking news. Sources nowhere close to the situation. These sources had confided in me and told me that Ace Steel is a very important part of CM Punk's psychology. You see, Ace Steel is CM Punk's emotional support bro. CM Punk cannot work. He cannot function. He can't sleep without Ace Steel at least 10 feet away from him. Yes, I've been told by people nowhere near the situation. A guy across the street at the store told me that he's in his house. Ace Steel lives with CM Punk. Okay, so the Ace Steel also watches CM Punk's dog. Okay, and Ace Steel is that important. So without Ace Steel, there is no CM Punk and AEW relationship. Now they also tell me different people that Ace Steel has already been hired by AEW. And there's a whole lot of stuff going around between wrestling journalists, a certain wrestling journalist, and one Philip Brooks, according to my contact at the deli on the corner. So, I mean, factually speaking, this could be the tip of the iceberg. We could be sitting on a bombshell. And now we're sharing it with the internet. We're like the Woodward and Bernstein of wrestling. We're breaking news here. There's no way that dude would lie to me. Never seen him before.
Listen, you have to trust a dude that is always handling your meats.
Yeah. He wasn't handling my meats. He was just there. I've never seen him before.
Oh,
I
I thought
said
it was
he was just
okay.
a guy there.
Oh, okay, I thought
Like
maybe
it'd make a little bit. It'd be a little bit biased if I actually knew the guy. If I see him at the store. But this guy, no.
Did
way.
he happen to look like Ace Steel?
No, he's just a guy.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what I think. Look, Dave, there's plenty of people in that organization with useless positions. There's a lot of money laundering going on, allegedly. Someone at the bus stop said, I overheard it. So, who knows? Wrestling's big in Brooklyn. Fight me. But don't.
It's true.
I mean, like wrestling, all right. So, was there anything else to that CM Punk thing you wanted to get into? Because I was just talking about it.
No, other than we have a date for Collision. It is June 17th, I think. Something like that.
RIP to this show. It's DOA. It's not going to make it. Look, that's just my opinion. Historically, wrestling shows do not do well on Saturdays. Friday barely gets what it gets. Let's just be frank here. I have no numbers to back this. I'm not doing any research. I'm just talking. I'm just making things up. But I'm pretty sure if Saturday was a good night for wrestling, there'd be wrestling shows on Saturday.
So with WWE Premium Live events airing on Saturdays now, I wonder if
that's different, right? Like, because
it is
like a weekly Saturday,
right?
Like, it's not always a Premium Live event on Saturday,
right? But I'm wondering when WWE does have a Premium Live event on Saturday, will Collision air at a different time or day?
At first I would just go up against it. What do you have to lose? And then see the numbers and be like, that was bad. But like, if you do pair it, you just load the card. That's why you don't do it. Like, you don't. All right, I don't know anything, but this is what I'm saying. Don't blow your load of creative in the first episode. Okay, what you need to do, and you need to work the audience up. You got to work them, get them comfortable, take them out for dinner. All right, get the meal. There's courses, okay? And then when it's dessert time would be whenever it's up against, like, maybe the second Premium Live event on a Saturday. And then put it up against it with like a banger of a card, like a Double or Nothing caliber card, and put that up against one of WWE's Premium Live events, because you've built to it. All those matches make sense with the TV that you did. And that's it right there. That's when you can see the, like, what is it? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying put up against Survivor Series. Put it up against like a mid-level one, and see what happens.
Roadblock.
It depends on what. Well, Roadblock is located too close to WrestleMania. Like, I think that's too much of a like a Vengeance or something, like something lame like that. I don't know. But that's what I think.
For me, I think it's obvious that it doesn't matter how much you load the card. Your AEW, like, going up against the WWE Premium Live event, you're going to lose at least half your audience minimum. That's being generous.
Not if the build up was right and like you like the matches that it worked up to. If they had like a storyline that's like say it wouldn't be the Elite stuff, because that's going to be Dynamite. From what I understand, this is like a brand split thing, supposedly.
No, they said there's not really going to be there will be a few names exclusive to either or, but it's not going to be nearly as rigid as WWE, even though the WWE brand split is not very rigid. This is going to be even less rigid by design.
Well, I heard that Daniel Dernisson is going to be doing creative for
He's going to be
Collision.
on. Yeah, he's going to be on the creative team, but not like ultimately Tony Khan is the head booker, but he'll have as much creative input as like Moxley and Omega, the Bucks, because like they all do. They all just put in. They say, "Oh, let's try this. Let's do that."
I think Moxley's like their guy,
Yeah,
pretty much.
I get the
He's
impression.
never gonna get that vacation now.
No, no. I get the impression that even beyond just storylines that involve him, that he has a bunch of creative ideas that he throws out there and says, "Hey, you, this would be a good idea for you. How about you pitch this? Blah blah blah," and he'll give like the Acclaimed or something an idea for a feud they can have with someone else. Just here's an idea. Go run with it.
It'd be cool if Moxley was on vacation and they filmed an angle where like MJF attacks him while he's on vacation. He's like, I can't even go on vacation.
On the beach, just bloody.
Just literally kicks the sandcastle into his eyes. You know,
Mhm.
he's finally like Moxley's there and like his kid's there and Renee's there. And they build a sandcastle together. It's just MJF. He's got
Mhm.
the championship on his shoulder, just kicks Moxley's sandcastle into his kid's face. And it's real personal then, you know,
That's great.
because, you know, MJF knocked poor Renee's microphone out of her hand, and
Yep.
big tough Mox ain't do nothing about it.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't even addressed. And it's like, look, I get it. I'm a Mark, but can we make it make sense? Like, really, Moxley's gonna let that stand? Really? Okay.
So
Maybe don't put her in that position. Use somebody else for him to be rude to like that.
that because here's the thing: like Renee is the perpetual face, Mox is a heel right now.
Yeah, and I heard that wasn't the original plan for that. There was supposed to be another angle they were doing. It was supposed to be with like the Outcast or something.
Mm.
It was supposed to be something else entirely. And they were like, "Yeah, this sucks. We're gonna just do this." Okay. Maybe it's like, oh, it was a Pillars thing. I think it was like a Pillars thing
Mm-hmm.
or something. It was supposed to be like that. And they're like, "Yeah, this isn't great." My source, trust me, bro. I read it on internet.
Adam Cole, baby. So speaking of his return and everything, so Roddy came in. Roddy had a
How
falls count.
happy were you to see Roderick Strong?
I'd rather not say.
Remember the part where he put Mr. Softy in Jericho's mouth? And then he got some Mr. Softy for himself? It would have been really cool if he like put too much Mr. Softy. He's like, oh, my brain. And he's like got like a brain freeze. Like, I would love for Excalibur, like, it appears that Chris Jericho is given a brain freeze by Roderick Strong. This has never happened in the history of professional wrestling. This is history in the making, or some such.
When he ate some of the ice cream, I actually laughed, I'll be honest. So I'm waiting. Like so far, I think probably because there's less of a leash, his mic work has been less bad. I'll give him
Less
that.
bad. Okay.
Yes.
I always, I think that's a compliment because I try to be less bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
So they had the Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, typically, a Falls Count Anywhere match is
Counts anywhere.
confined to within the arena. That is where the falls count. It could spill to the outside, and it doesn't matter because there's no countouts. You could fight out there, but the fall has to occur within the arena.
I don't see that written anywhere. Do you?
I will look up my wrestling rule book eventually.
It wasn't clearly stated, so they could do whatever they want.
I feel like they didn't even say falls count anywhere inside the arena. Either way,
I feel like there should be a Jim Cornette stairs and outlaw mud show meme, like right here, at all of that. You know, he loved that.
Oh yeah. Oh, the stairs, like
That whole thing to me was like,
the
why
stairway
is
was
it?
wasted. The steroid
I
was
know.
wasted.
Here's the thing. I was like, why do they? This is Adam Cole
Baby.
was in some ridiculous match like this with Orange Cassidy,
Mhm.
and then he got hurt. This is Roderick Strong's first like feud thing,
Mhm.
and his first match against. Is this his first match against Chris Jericho?
Yeah, ever.
Isn't this Falls Count Anywhere match? It's like, can we just get here from somewhere? How did it escalate like this? Was it because of the whole handcuffing thing? Then why doesn't Adam
Yeah.
Cole just fight him? Why is Roderick Strong fighting him? Is Adam Cole not cleared? I thought he was cleared. He came back. He was like, I'm going for something.
Well, I think they wanted to save Cole versus Jericho for the pay-per-view. So they're Double or Nothing, as announced. It's going to be Jericho versus Adam Cole, Bebe, in a non-sanctioned match, I think. Yeah, non-sanctioned.
Yeah, but don't you see what I'm saying here?
I do.
Like, why go from 0 to 100 with Roderick Strong when the feud is not directly between him and Chris Jericho?
Because he's best friends with
He's
Adam Cole, Bebe.
It doesn't make sense, man. It's too crazy. He could just have a regular A match with him. Okay? Unless the whole plan was to just get him outside so Adam Cole could beat him up, but that's a heel thing to do, to trick the face into a trap where like, oh, he's finally going to get him. His friends are banned from ringside. There's nothing he can do, and bam, here they come.
Well,
It
because
just seems kind of flipped, I guess.
Adam Cole is a veteran. He's a mastermind. He outsmarted his. Oh, wait, that is something Jericho should have done, isn't it?
Yeah, but why didn't he?
Bad writing. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's
I
not
don't
that
know.
it's not that it's bad writing. It's right. I feel like if someone like a Michael Hayes were in the room when Tony Khan and whomever were discussing that, he would have said, hold on, that's a heel thing. Why isn't Jericho doing that? Oh well, we want Roddy to win this match, so it'll further. Okay, there's a better way to do it.
Roddy
Someone,
didn't even win his match against Jericho fair and square. He had to cheat.
yeah, he didn't even
So,
hit his own finisher.
but
Cole hit
he's
the
like,
boom, and then he hit a flying knee.
last I checked, he came out of the face tunnel. Isn't
Uh,
that? Don't they do tunnels?
They do tunnels.
It's like the face tunnel, the heel tunnel.
Hmm. Either way, they both meet at Tony Khan's desk at the go position because they can't call it gorilla.
I would call it the goat position. Speaking of goats, what do you think of Roman Reigns' new T-shirt on SmackDown?
I love it. I don't love it enough to where I would wear it, but I love it.
I think I might have to get that shirt. It's so cool. It's
Mhm.
one of those like simple shirts, but
Mhm.
it goes hard. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a silly shirt, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fact that there's just no way around it. It's about Seth Rollins, it's about everybody who just needs to just throw it up,
Mhm.
And I think about that dude like that does the videos where it's like Roman Reigns versus Godzilla and King Kong in a triple threat match, and he's like, oh, he's gonna get him. It's like 1, 2, and it's like he just
Mhm.
throws it up like, all right. It's gonna be like that Night of Champions, dude. Like,
My hand exists now with my better lighting.
yeah, you're welcome
Thank you.
for giving you your own advice for some reason you can't seem to take.
Uh,
But it's gonna be like that at Night of Champions. They're gonna take the tag team championships off Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
let's address this for a moment.
Let's do that. I
Is
thought
Sami
that's what
Zayn
this
going
was.
to Saudi Arabia?
Yes, he's going.
We haven't
I
read
don't have
the
enough information on that, so
we haven't read
I'm
we
not
haven't
even
read the
gonna.
SmackDown spoilers yet. They still could pump the brakes on that. They could have that
I
match at SmackDown.
I think
Injure
whatever.
Sammy can't fly, whatever the case is.
I just hope I just want the world to live in peace and harmony. I just want that to be safe journeys, safe travels. Let's put on a wrestling show. Let's put some smiles on little princes' faces, little princesses and princes
Hmm.
of all the children, all the beautiful children of the world. Let them enjoy wrestling. It's not their fault. They just want to watch some wrestling.
Hmm.
That's all. So yeah, let Sammy go. They want to see Sammy. They love Sami Zayn,
They do.
but they're gonna see him lose. It's gonna be great. I just don't. I don't know how this happens. I don't know how Roman Reigns does not become the undisputed tag team champions. You
I
can't
do.
have Solo take a L. You know what I mean? Like Solo, the tribal chief, it might be a little wary of Solo. He might, he understands Solo's, because he recruited Solo for a reason. So he knows what Solo can do, and he needs Solo on his side. Otherwise, he's outnumbered,
But there was that
and that's
incidental
not good.
contact.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's
Mhm.
is in the thing that I'm doing. This is the thing that I'm doing, and this is the happen. This is the kind of champion. This is the kind of champion that you guys have
It's a wavelength thing.
to represent. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, because I was getting to that. I was getting to that. Everybody believes me. Believe
I'm
me.
following.
It was the best getting to that you've ever seen. So basically what I'm trying to say is I think with the whole being worn down by the Judgment Day, and then there's Imperium and then Wrestling Imperium on Monday Night Raw coming up as Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and I think Cody is Cody tagging with them. They're getting to get a third guy and wrestle Imperium, but because they were, you remember they were like looking at them like, what? Why are you here? Why are you looking at me? Like Kevin Owens is up to like 20 or
Yeah.
something, and like even Sammy's like, hey man, why you gotta
Mm.
go all the way up like that? It's like, oh, we'll wrestle you guys. We'll get another guy. And Sammy's like,
He's
we'll get a
wound
guy.
up.
Sammy's like, we'll get another guy. We'll get another guy. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not going to be a stupid handicap match. What kind of idiot gets into a handicap match with Imperium?
Right.
You know, what a stupid thing to do.
I mean, it could be Cody.
Well, what else is Cody doing? But oh no, he's got business with Brock. There's
Yeah.
a
He's
Brock
in his
code.
way.
The segment's called Brock Lesnar and Cody in the building together. Whatever. That's whatever they're advertising it as. It's basically that. It's like, look, Roman's not here, but look who else is here. Look, we got Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes.
Brock
There
Lesnar
he
has a huge
is.
announcement about a huge announcement. Oh wait, that's Tony Khan.
Tony Khan's huge announcement. Switchblade. Who cares? Juice Robinson. Who cares? I'm like
New
doing like Stone
Japan
Cold Steve
fans.
Austin with the.
Mhm.
Well, apparently that they're trying to cater to the hardcore fans. Warner Brothers Discovery, whatever they're calling themselves now, they like it.
Mhm.
They're down with the sickness. They're all good. Not that it's a sickness. I just thought of the Disturbed song, and I
Good
just went
song.
with it. So, for
I
you
got
kids out there, that's an oldies band.
it is.
No. Anyway, yeah, here we are talking. Wrestling is so real, man. It keeps it real.
Mhm.
We keeps it real, Rich Perez. What do you want to keeps it real about? Right this second.
So we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the big turn, the big shocker from I think it was last week's Dynamite, where Don Callis literally stabbed Kenny Omega.
Yes, this week was the response to that, and
Right.
last week is when it happened. Right.
Yeah, this week was the response, which there wasn't much of a response because Blackpool Combat Club came out and attacked. Callis hightailed it.
Yeah,
And we saw the reunion of Hangman and the Elite.
I think the eye patch is stupid.
Yeah.
I get why it's there. I still think it's stupid.
Mhm.
You shouldn't be getting stabbed in the eye with a screwdriver because it's very easy for kids to get screwdrivers. So don't do that. Secondly, um, only wrestling violence is okay. All right. And the most obvious thing that Don Callis thing was. Like, of course he was gonna not help him. He was gonna turn on him. And it's like, okay, here we go. But Callis is not with the Blackpool Combat Club. He's just mad at Kenny.
Yeah, we still don't know why.
I think it's love, man. I think that Don Callis loves Kenny Omega and he feels slighted by him. Maybe he doesn't feel like he was paying enough attention to him after him being there for him, as he says. Making him the god of wrestling was him. Back when Don Callis raised him up from the mean streets of Winnipeg or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Certainly not North Carolina.
no, no Carolinas.
Right.
As a matter of fact, neither one claimed any participation in this. Neither the North or South of Carolina. So we still don't know who Don Callis is in cahoots with, or if he is just a scorned lover in the friendship love sense, not like, whatever. But if it was, it doesn't matter. It's not my business, So either way.
Kota Ibushi is a free agent at the moment.
Yeah, he's around. He's all over the world right now.
Either way, I think this was kind of a sloppy way to get to Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, another Stairs and Outlaw Mud Show. Jim Cornette meme there. Look, those matches are fun. They can be fun. And that's what it's all about, Rich DeRiz. It's about having a good time. It's about finding creative ways to injure your opponent. Maybe there'll be a golf cart involved. It's funny that the Blackpool Combat Club, their whole thing is like, aren't they supposed to be like the purity of wrestling or some such, or violence? I guess the violence overrules that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Daniel Bryan Dernison is down with that stuff now. So he's not a pro wrestler. He's just like, what is it? Because that's not pro wrestling. Anarchy in the Arena. That's more ECW than anything, isn't it?
Wrestling can be anything. So 9 matches have been announced so far. Among those, we have a ladder match, the Blackjack Battle Royal for the International Championship, Anarchy in the Arena.
International Championship.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the former
Formerly-
All Atlantic?
Yeah.
Jimmy J. Jericho Society belt, whatever.
Right.
He's
And
never
an
even held it.
unsanctioned match. So 4 out of 9, that is 44.44444% of the show so far is a non-standard match.
But
Plus the
will
Fatal
Jade
4-Way main event.
Cargill defeat Taya Valkyrie and retain her TNT championship?
It's a big question.
I think this is the most in jeopardy that Jade has been. When Taya Valkyrie hit her finisher on her, she just looked like, I don't think I've ever seen her that vulnerable before. So if you ask me, I would just have Jade hit 1,000 days. just like after that, just have her like say she wants to challenge for the AEW Women's Championship because no one's been able to beat her, and she should be the women's champion, so she should get a shot. And then you could put some arbitrary rule where it's like, well, Tony's, going to be like, well, I and because of that, I have to relinquish this championship because nobody can beat me, and I don't want to hold this belt hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And then she challenges for the belt, and because she gave up the belt beforehand, it's like, oh my God, what if she did that for nothing? And she has nothing. What if she can't beat the winner of Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, and she's just got nothing?
Mm-hmm.
and then she just smashes like whoever it is. But that's why I'm saying to wait, because some might say she's not ready to be the AEW Women's Champion. I think she is, but I think that's how you do it. I think you have her. She's never beaten for that championship. So no matter what she does after, that belt is linked to her.
Mm-hmm.
So like whatever, however long it lasts her as AEW Women's Champion, and like after that, if like there's a new TNT Women's Champion or whatever down the line, and they need to get over more,
Mm-hmm.
then you have them. Then you have Jade Cargill challenge them and try to get the belt that she was never beaten for. And then they go over. It's like, oh my God, she's like really legit. And this will cost me overtime. But they'd have to want to invest actual time in that storyline for it to
Mm-hmm.
work.
Yeah. There are a lot of ways they can go right now. Obviously, Jade is being pushed to the moon.
You couldn't even tell me
Right.
what you thought about that idea before you went, and you just keep on going.
I like the idea. I like the
Okay,
idea a lot.
thanks. I would
Okay.
like to know what you thought about it, and then you could tell me.
It's so basically they could say that because this hasn't been an issue yet, if I recall correctly, they could have a rule that you can't hold more than one AEW championship at a time.
Yeah, sure, whatever you
Right?
want to call it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that way it'll be like, okay, well, FDR had all the belts, but they didn't have the AEW tag titles, right? And like if they have the AEW tag titles, they can't also eventually get the AEW trios titles. They could challenge for the Ring of Honor trios titles, but not the AEW trios titles.
So many championships and
There's a lot, right?
ugh.
Once Ring of Honor gets TV, this will be fixed. I hope.
We all hope Richter is. We all hope. But yes,
Mm-hmm. So it's a pivotal time. The whoever takes the title off of Jade, first of all, at the moment, like
but they're not taking the title off of her.
right,
They should do
but
my idea.
it has to be a big name. It has to be someone that is going to, because Jade has made a legacy, right?
That's why I say she doesn't get beat. That's why I say she moves on.
I like it. I like it if she relinquishes the title to challenge for the women's world title, and then maybe she loses, and maybe she doesn't have a title, and then she
I
goes on
think
a
she wins.
rampage.
I think she wins the belt.
Maybe she wins. That would be good too. That would be incredible.
Yeah, because then it's like, okay, but this is different now, isn't it? But it's
Yeah.
like, how different? Because you're still gonna beat up the same people. I'm pretty sure. Like,
Mhm.
unless like a whole new crop of people just come. It's like,
Mhm.
yes, the same people that couldn't beat you for the other one is not going to beat you for this one. But at least you got the biggest belt. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense for her not to even be in that conversation. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, get to the 1,000 days so you can copy, and then just whatever.
Yeah. To beat a dead horse, the AEW women's division, the
I don't
gap.
condone the beating of dead horses or live horses. I just want to say that for the record.
I'm on that same page. The talent gap between top tier, second tier, third tier, and like everyone else they have is so wide, and there are so few that are actually in ring ability top tier or second tier. Call me a hater. I'm just no pun intended with Jamie Hater.
I'll call you a Jamie hater.
Don't call me a Jamie Hater. Actually, I wouldn't mind. She's in fantastic shape, but I feel like it doesn't really stack up to the WWE women's division. They have more top and second tier than they have third tier and below. On topic, I saw a headline. I didn't open it or whatever. I don't remember who it was. Trinity said that she wants Impact to introduce women's trios titles.
Do they have that many women?
Right, that's my question. How
Like,
deep is this roster? As far as that I know of, Impact has Trinity, Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace. I don't know.
I think that we need to stop it with these trios championships.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's tag team, there's tag team, there's your mid card belt. If you want your international belt, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the world championship and your tag team championships, right? I said that already, didn't I? But
Yes.
and for women, you have your TBS and you have even then it's like why do you have whatever, fine. But that's it.
It's the Jade title.
That's it. You don't even have enough for a tag division. Don't think about it. And then if you have okay, but you would say, oh, what about the X Division Championship? I'm not an Impact guy. I never was. But if you have enough people in that range that can do that and not just put people in there, then fine. You should have like a separate championship for that. Otherwise, no. Just make that the deal for the. You got two other mid card championships to f with. Like, just do that. Everybody gets a championship. Nobody has a championship. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. How are you not losing your mind at the fact that Rhea Ripley is on Monday Night Raw and she has the SmackDown Championship belt? Like, I don't care about that, but that bothers you.
It does, and I'm just not thinking about it
Like every second, Bianca
because you.
Belair is on Monday Night Raw with that on SmackDown with that Raw belt. It just drives you nuts.
Yeah.
It's like I can't deal with this. uh, imagine writing an email about that to them. Imagine being a grown man, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
our age, and just going, "Dear WWE,
Hmm.
I don't appreciate the fact that you have the blue belt on the red show and the red belt on the blue show. Fix it. Sincerely yours, Johnny Neckbeard."
So interesting thing. There were the upfronts. I don't know, like whatever they are. It's like announcements of like the schedules going forward, right, for Fox and NBC
What
and
is
everything.
this? Network jargon? I knew it. I knew you were in show business. You're one of the
Hold.
kings of show business.
So neither Fox nor NBC mentioned WWE.
That's weird. What with NBC Universal and Fox with SmackDown? That's
Mm-hmm.
odd.
Right.
You know, it's funny. They should mention them because what with the writer strike and I think some other actors guild strike or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like wrestling's going to be the best content
Yeah,
because like it doesn't stop. So
because there's no union.
exactly, why wouldn't you push that?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Uh,
Um. So yeah,
so real quick on just speaking of Impact Wrestling, Deonna Purrazzo is their women's champion, and their Knockouts tag team champions are the Coven, Taylor Wilde and Kylan King.
why does that sound like that should be the name of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn's tag team? Except because like I think witches have covens too,
Yeah, witches do have
and
covens.
they're kind of witchy women.
Yeah, Taylor
Oh,
Wilde is
witchy
doing this.
women.
Witchy women.
Oh, maybe they can.
Eagles, the witchy woman.
Oh, there
Close
you
enough.
go. Yeah, we
Enough.
could get we. It's $1 billion company or $9 billion company. They could do it. They could do
They
it.
could if they
But
want.
they'd have to like actually elevate the team. I mean, they did drop those ham and eggers real quick on Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah,
I
no
was
mention
on.
that like they Leon and Feroz faced someone. It wasn't them. I think maybe probably Casey and Casey for the NXT tag titles a few times. One of them, I think Leon just came back from injury.
Oh
They weren't just you recognize them, right?
no, dude, they all look the same. Like they're just. I was like, I was watching it with the wife. I'm like, oh no, just a 3 count on Bella at home. Like I felt like
Feroz
they
is
felt
the
like
go ahead.
Bella twins, but with like less like distinguishable features
Yeah,
and not even twins. Like they just meld.
Valentina Feroz is the one that was hanging out with Sanga, and then she was hanging out with Elektra Lopez. And Elektra's like, you gotta like, You gotta whatever and use the brass knucks or whatever.
Oh, no direction.
Yes.
That's that's the nickname I just came up with.
There you go.
Uh, that's a great name.
Mhm.
No direction.
So Taylor Wilde is doing this kind of witchy looking gimmick now. I still don't have
Now I gotta find that
access.
and put that down there. All right, there it is. All right, yeah,
Yeah.
I did it.
I haven't seen Impact. I just my
Well, there's no need
provider
for
doesn't
us to
have it.
feel around and be disrespectful about it. It's like,
It has 17 women on their roster,
yeah,
which, if you ask me, that's not enough. If you have the women's title and you have women's tag titles, that's not nearly enough to add trios titles and
no,
actually get some variety every week.
I don't think any specific wrestling show has enough women to do that anyway.
Right.
So, and they don't. And they also don't have that many of that level that should really be competing for championships. If that makes any sense?
The same could be said about AEW.
That's what I am
Sort of.
saying. I
Right.
am saying
Mhm.
that there's not enough anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said like any brand, they just don't have enough.
Right. Right.
Um,
Plus, Mickey James is out with a broken rib. Sue Young is out on maternity leave. So that knocks you down to 15.
oh well,
If you take out the world champ and the knockout champs, that's 12.
yeah. So see, so you don't need it. So prove a point in the pudding or whatever. Oh, those tag titles, huh? They're pretty cursed. It's
Yeah.
Liv Morgan over there injured. Dakota Kai injured. Is Dakota Kai injured from injuring Liv Morgan? Because like the timing seems kind of odd, don't you think?
So I don't know. I didn't see anything when I was looking through news this week. It
Yeah.
could be storyline just to make it to take one out if one's taken out.
I don't know if it's storyline. Well, Liv Morgan, I think she's definitely hurt. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't make sense just a storyline strip them of the titles. For what?
Right.
Because Raquel Rodriguez is still in this tournament thing. She just has to find a partner. Or did she
Mhm.
already? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. I think on Monday, Bailey's gonna, or something. Mondays there's gonna be a thing for the tag titles also.
Well,
Is that when they start the thing?
I believe the match is Monday. We're going to
Yeah.
decide new women's tag champs on Monday.
Who do you think it should be?
Team with Raquel?
Yeah. But the winners, probably Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, right? Because it looks like that's where they're headed.
Mm-hmm. They're a good choice.
Unless they give Raquel Rodriguez a really good partner.
Such as?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting that question. I don't know. I mean, she's a heel, but Zoe Stark, she's not busy. And I would have said Nikki Cross, but Zoe Stark like destroyed Nikki Cross. Why should she be in a tag team for the tag team championships?
And then they had an interesting interaction this week.
Yeah, because she's yelling at her or something, and Candace is like, ah. Oh, they have a match next week, so Candace and Zoe Stark are busy, so Zoe Stark isn't gonna be.
But that's on SmackDown? That's Raw.
That is Raw, Rich.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it will be Nikki Cross, and we don't know what the heck we're talking about. But that's not a really good choice if you're trying to become tag team champions. Oh, maybe she might work better in a tag team. I mean, she is a former tag team champion, but
with who?
That was with Alexa Bliss. Do you think it'd be her?
Main roster. I was thinking maybe Dakota Kai is not injured.
You think that? Why would Dakota Kai team up with Raquel Rodriguez against Io Sky and Bayley?
Because Dakota Kai is done with Bayley and her overbearingness.
I mean, if I saw evidence of that, but Bailey's wearing a Dakota Kai shirt with 3 Dakota Kais on it. And they tweeted out, "We love you, girl,"
Hmm.
or whatever. Friends do that. That would never happen.
Hmm. Yeah,
That would
Bailey's a good
never
friend. You're right.
happen. Yeah, Bailey would never betray a friend.
No.
She's never done that before.
Nope.
She's always been a real straight arrow, real straight shooter, you know? Bailey's a hero. A lot of
she
people
is.
want to be like Bailey.
Hmm.
She's a role model,
Including
some might say.
to Roxanne Perez, at least.
Yep. Who's just a super fan, apparently.
Man, I hate that gimmick.
I would love for like one of her promos to be like, "Oh, look at this letter," and it's like a letter to like Bailey, and it's in like the newspaper clipping serial killer type like cutouts, and it's like a picture of like Bailey and like one of her friends or something,
They
and
should
then
make her a
like
Bailey stand. Mm-hmm.
she's got like her head cut off, and it's her head instead next to Bailey, weird stuff like that, and just have her just like. Tears go to why, just like, dear Bailey, this is the last letter I'm ever writing your booty.
Dear Miss, I don't got time to answer fans.
This is the last letter I'll ever send you, sweet ass.
I imagine it is sweet.
That's gonna earn us 2 piggies next episode. What?
All right.
Yeah. We have to be more respectful than Excalibur and Taz and Tony Schiavone.
Middle of a match.
It's like, bro, I get you just got the news. And by the way, whoever did that to you is a jerk off. So maybe you don't have to be the first on scene with this. You could finish this crazy match that you have to be into, then take a second or 2 or whatever to break the. That just seems messed up to me. Like, what? As soon as they kept going, I'm like, wow, this is going to be really awkward for them. I wonder how they're going to. I was like, oh my God, would you believe it? It's like.
A few months ago, we received a sad update that superstar Billy Graham has passed away. Our condolences are thoughts to his friends. His fans. Yeah, that's horrible. It's kind of what we do. So, yeah, happened years after that. Superstar
Billy Graham is just died. You just found this out, and this is what you do? Like, let's wait a second. Like, the guy, he's like the blueprint for superstar. There's no WWE superstar without Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham. Triple H has said it, and you want to go back. Triple H's hero, Ric Flair, says that he got a lot of stuff from him. Hulk Hogan, that's some superstar Billy Graham. Like the current, like the popular wrestling. He was like, like a seed, like in there, he grew up like a tree, like a big, he was doing that thing, he brought that to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for coming by and checking out, listening, watching, wherever you are, the Basement Bookers podcast. It's been a joy to produce this for you, and also hope that you had fun. Right down below, whatever you want. What do you think? You think Roman should win? Kind of drop that conversation abruptly, but whatever. It'll come up later. Who cares? Whatever. Everything's below. Linktree, Basement Bookers Pod for the Instagram, and that's it. That's the whole reason the Linktree exists, is to have all the links in there. So,
all right. And with all that said, Jared's got a party message.
The match of life is scheduled for one fall.
And do what the man says.
Follow the Booker.